Lately, I've been playing Age of Empires 4, one of the latest releases in the Age of Empires franchise. And that got me thinking about my history with Age of Empires as a whole. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today and my thoughts and experiences with Age of Empires 4 and whether I think it's worth picking up now. My first experience with Age of Empires is going way back. It's back in the 90s. I must have been about 8 or 9 years old. And I remember going around my friend's house and he had a PC and I had a Mac at home. So Age of Empires was off limits to me. Around my friend's house he had Age of Empires loaded up and you get to see these armies battling each other, and it was cheat codes actually. It's one of the first memories that I have is pepperoni pizza to spawn in food. There were certain cheats to spawn in cars that you could drive over and blow up the peasants that were mining stone or collecting wood and farming, and you've got a car with a gun. It was really fun and it's a good time, and I really enjoyed playing that game. But later in life I got my own copy of Age of Empires, and it was Age of Empires 2, and I had a great time playing this, and this was a great gaming experience. It has everything that Age of Empires 4 has today, and it just ran really well. One of the other games that I played was Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Now this was one of the games that was available on Mac, and this game played exactly like Age of Empires 2. It was just a complete clone of Age of Empires 2 but with a Star Wars skin, and I was very into Star Wars as a younger person, and I absolutely was enthralled by this game. You could get clone troopers, you could get Jedis. It was a fun game, and it's just exactly like the satisfying base building of Age of Empires, but with Star Wars, and there was all sorts of races that you could play. There was quite a lot of content there, and I mostly just like to set up my own custom skirmishes versus bots. I never played it online or anything, just offline skirmishes. Very much in the same vein I did that with Age of Empires 2. And there's other spin-offs as well, like Age of Mythology. I also played this, and the theme tune from that is kind of stuck in my mind. I haven't played it recently, and I know that there's been a new version of Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, that has been released, but I'm yet to try that out, and I'm looking to give that a go. But Age of Mythology, again, very similar to Age of Empires, except you've got god powers and mythical units to fight for you. Very interesting. Going back to Age of Empires, I remember my friend was very into it, and he always would talk about the power of the Teuton Knight. I never saw that power myself. I like to play as the English people, build farms, get some longbowmen. That's how I've been playing Age of Empires 4 as well. And there was another spin-off that you can't actually play anymore that I did play, because I'm very into RTS games in general. That was Age of Empires Online. Now I don't have any footage of me playing Age of Empires Online because it was a long time ago, and I can't even see it on my Steam list anymore. It's been completely wiped, but it was quite a bare bones version of Age of Empires. It was quite stripped back, and the idea was that you were supposed to give them money so you could unlock certain things, unlock certain races and abilities. I didn't play it for too long, but it is one of those games that is stuck in my memory as a game that was a bit disappointing. And then later on, they brought out the HD version of Age of Empires, which I do have on my Steam library. And there's multiple versions of Age of Empires 2 now, which is getting more and more confusing. But this version is the Age of Empires that you know and love and remember, except it's got HD graphics. So it's exactly what you were looking for, Age of Empires. And they've re-released it yet again, and I think they've added new content. I haven't got that version myself because I don't see the point in rebuying it. Got everything I could ask for from the Age of Empires 2 HD edition. So, Age of Empires 4, how is it? It plays very similar to Age of Empires 2, except there's a lot more stuff going on. A lot more specific things for each race. Now, I didn't really experiment too much in the past or know the intricacies or build orders of Age of Empires 2. I just played it very casually against bots. But when I picked up Age of Empires 4, this was 2 years ago, I didn't actually connect with it too well. I played some of the campaign, and it had some interesting documentary videos in it that was cool to look at, like how castles are built, how the trebuchet was created. And I played some of the campaign, and then I just sort of bounced off it, and I probably went back to StarCraft 2 or played other types of games. And I left it alone until just last month. I picked up Age of Empires 4 again, installed it, and I've been playing online multiplayer with my friends, and it's been a blast. There's something that's very casual about being able to play it. It doesn't matter because I'm pretty terrible at Age of Empires 4, and everyone I've been against you can tell that they've been playing it for a few years now, and they've got build orders, they've got strategies, they're going to rush you, or they're going to come with a large push later on, and they upgrade the ages very fast, and I'm trying to keep up with them, slowly getting better. But it has this element where, unlike StarCraft, which is a very fast-paced RTS game, if you mess up your build order, you're going to be very behind. That is the case in Age of Empires 4 too. You can have fun building, because building is one of the things that I just enjoy the most out of RTS gaming. And you get this sort of grace period every game. I'd say at least 5 minutes or so of just pure building workers, cutting down trees, mining, farming, collecting sheep, building up your base, building some walls before you get trampled on. So I get some enjoyment out of each game, even though I'm getting completely stomped on. And that's where I've been really enjoying it as a sort of relaxing RTS game, yet I'm playing it competitively online. And we have been dabbling in ranked. And I've got a few things to say about the ranked system, because me and my friends, we're all new to Age of Empires 4 ranked online. So we're all just figuring it out by getting completely stomped on. And we've learnt a lot of things, improved our build orders, we're still getting stomped on. But we're in the lowest league, which makes sense because we're new to the game. But the ranking system keeps putting us up against Gold League players. And we've even gone against Platinum League players. And that, if you don't know the rank system, it basically goes Bronze, Silver, Gold. But within that one, there's Bronze 1, 2, 3, Silver 1, 2, 3. So Bronze, Silver, Gold, then Platinum, and then it goes higher. And we are the lowest rank. Like I said, that makes sense because we've hardly played the game. We are new to it. But we keep going against Gold League players, and we have had a game against the Platinum League. The rank system, that's completely balked. Unless there's just no one in Bronze League. Is there no one that's new to this game? I don't know. Another thing that was shocking to me was that I keep getting paired up against people playing on Xbox. And I'm thinking, how can you play an RTS game with a controller? Yet they do, and they completely stomp me. So clearly this game works very well with an Xbox controller, which completely, that blew me away, because I cannot imagine playing an RTS game with a controller. Nonetheless, Age of Empires 4 has been a fun experience, and if you're looking for an RTS game that is a bit more chill and a bit more slow paced, but there's still competitive elements there and there's lots of room for you to grow and improve, Age of Empires 4, I believe, is the game that you're looking for, because like I said, there's that nice chill period where it's workers, macro, building, then you get stomped on and you can build from there. And we're starting to get to the point when I might defend some of those early pushes. A lot of the time I don't, but sometimes I do. And it's been cool to experiment with the different races that are in the game. For instance, English, I naturally gravitated towards playing them first. Farms, very important. And then I've been playing this other race where you get camel riders. And then there was another race where, like the Mongols, you just put down caravans, so you can move your base around completely. And then another race where all your upgrades are free, but you need profits to increase the speed that those upgrades take. And even though they're kind of minor changes in the grand scheme of things, when you're doing that early base building, it completely changes the landscape of the base building. So it keeps it fresh and new. If you've been playing a few games as one race, try another. And you will get stomped because you'll be confused by what the hell's going on. But it's cool that they're that different. So, yes, Age of Empires 4, I do think it's good, but maybe the player base might be a bit small. Maybe there's just not enough people playing, so you do get matched up against those newbies. And the reason why we are even doing ranked in the first place is we were just playing straight up casual multiplayer. So it's still 4v4, 3v3, whatever it is that you pick to do. But we were getting completely stomped, so I thought, why don't we just enter the rank system so we get placed against people our skill level, so we stop getting placed against people who know exactly what they're doing. And yet it hasn't really panned out in that way, and like I said, the player base just might be too small to have lower skilled people, and maybe there's not enough new people coming into the game where you do get new people who don't know what's going on, and you've just got people who've been playing it for a while and have build orders and know what they're doing. But yes, going back to that building, I do really enjoy the more macro focus on Age of Empires, where there's a lot of building to do. In StarCraft, there is a lot of building to do in StarCraft. It's very timing heavy. If you haven't got enough gateways or barracks for the amount of bases you've got, you're not always building out of them, you'll get stomped by someone who is doing that. And I do think that is the case in Age of Empires 4 as well, but it just feels more forgiving in that way. You might focus on purely building for a while, and then suddenly, I'm going to put down 5 barracks right now and start producing out of them. And suddenly your army is starting to flood and you're able to build up. And I do love all the defences that you can get. I love being able to build walls, and you can build a castle and put a cannon in that castle. Yeah, it's exciting stuff, and you get big grand battles in that game. And formations do matter. You can flank with cavalry. Cavalry can flank you and you can get stomped. You might need your spearmen up front to defend against the cavalry. You might want your archers out the front to get the initial shot, then bring them back. There's lots of scope there to improve, and I do really like that. So it's almost like the floor is low. You can get started, you can start building, you can start cutting down trees, but the skill ceiling is high. So it feels good to play, and I've been very, very much enjoying myself playing Age of Empires 4. And it has just sort of built upon the history of Age of Empires. It's like Age of Empires 2, but with a flashy new look, and the graphics, they do look nice, but it does make my computer rev quite hard, which is a bit annoying. And in this small little office, when I'm playing Age of Empires, it becomes a little bit of a sauna in here. Very, very hot. So it'd be nice if it didn't impact my graphics card quite so much. But those have been my thoughts on the Age of Empires series as a whole, with most of the focus on Age of Empires 4. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to hear me talk about StarCraft, then click this video that's popped up now, where I talk about my history and my introduction to the RTS genre.